Hey guys, Talking Dave over here, the dorky talking black guy that's just trying to get by. And welcome to another edition of Street Fighter Flashbacks. In celebration of the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter, I've taken it upon myself to share my memories of playing the arcade and console games at that period of time, and as well share my thoughts and review other Street Fighter related media. The 2000s was a dark time for fighting games. I mean, it's not that fighting games weren't being made. It's just that they weren't the rage as they once were. And basically, unless you were a hardcore gamer, you really weren't following like what new fighting games were coming out at that time. Actually, this was a period where basically everyone was flocking to basically King of Fighters or the King of the Iron Fist series, which I might bring up sometime in the future. But the one franchise that got hit really hard during this dark time was Street Fighter. Despite having some animes being brought out, they were basically mediocre hits. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li was a huge bomb, and while the Udon comic book series was freaking awesome, comic books, while gaining a little more acceptance, they still were not the big craze that they are now. In fact, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li would have been the definitive nail in the coffin of the franchise if it wasn't for 2008. Now, you guys won't guess this by the way my videos look right now, but I was actually a web design major in 2008, and I was towards the end of actually getting my certificate. And in the school, I saw a YouTube trailer that had a fist bump and then two people roundhouse kicking each other with white and red clothing on the legs. At that moment in time, I knew that Street Fighter was back. And it came back with a vengeance, because that trailer was not only awesome, watching Ryu and Ken go at it, then the final title card came out. Street Fighter 4. Yes! Yes! 9 years later, after Third Strike, after being almost empty, after almost not seeing another Street Fighter game and everything, we are finally getting Street Fighter 4. Oh man, I was so excited and all. And, so I saw this trailer and I was pumped for it, but I was still kind of going through some worse financial spot and trying to find a place to settle down and move to live in. Meanwhile, while I got my certificate, a career in computers wasn't for me, transitioning into finding something else, I didn't jump on the bandwagon as quickly. In fact, I didn't realize that basically Street Fighter 4 came out until towards the end of 2009, and at that time, not only was I with my girlfriend and discovering trying to find what career path to go on, my god brother and my bro came out and was like, "Yo, Sean, have you played Street Fighter 4 yet?" And I was like, "Wait, it's out? It's out?" He's like, "Yeah, man. Yo, you better come over. You better play this." And I went to my bro's house and everything, and I was playing Street Fighter 4 for a little bit, and I was happy that there was a Street Fighter game came out, but something didn't feel completely right to me. And that was the graphics. Now, I understand that nowadays, with the high processors of, the game consoles, it's more favorable to have 3D renderings and all, but I still to this day prefer the graphic style of Street Fighter 3, all of them, and as well as Gato Densetsu, Mark of the Wolves. But needless to say, though, besides the graphics, everything else was awesome. You know, seeing Dio and Ken back, you know, in their own game was not only cool, but we had everybody from the Street Fighter 2 Turbo days back. We had Chun-Li, Guile, Zangief, E Honda, Blanca, you know, Vega, Balrog, M. Bison, and Sagat back, you know. And as well, since you know, I only played the home console version, I also got to see Sakura back, Fei Long back, Dan back, and Goki back and everything. And we had some new characters, which, okay, I'll admit, the new characters in Street Fighter 4 were not very impressive, you know. Like, you know, Abel, the one person that came back from Street Fighter 5. Yeah, I was not really impressed with Abel. Nor was I impressed with El Fuerte, you know. Oh, before I go in, Abel was supposed to represent MMA, you know, since almost everything with martial arts that's popular now is MMA, mixed martial arts related. He was supposed to be the MMA fighter, but really he was just a close range grappler and everything that threw a couple of punches and kicks. Not really impressive. El Fuerte was a luchador wrestler, but his moveset was also very limited. You know, then we had Rufus, a rival for Ken. Dude was a freaking fat tub of lard that wore a Game of Death outfit and looked terrible. I actually saw some concept art of Rufus, of him being like, you know, a brother and everything with a karate gi, but had like, you know, the ends of it were like, you know, mink, like looked like pink mink fur and everything. You know, something reminiscent of a 1970s, like, you know, karate gi. You know what? That design was awesome compared to what the hell we got from Rufus. And this guy is Ken's rival. Please, Ken will kill him if he wants to. But the most promising character that came out of the game was C. Viper. You know, a CIA agent that actually had these, like, you know, these gloves and these heels that gave you an electric shock or burned you with a kick, which was pretty cool and everything. But, you know, she was the most interesting character of Street Fighter 4, but nothing to really wow about, but still decent to play. But it was just great seeing all the old characters back and everything, and their movesets were executed a lot better, with the exception of Ken. I gotta admit, the Shin Shoryuken and everything, you know, well, not the Shin Shoryuken, but the Shin Ryuken, yeah, combining the kicks, having the kicks and everything, and then going into the Shin Ryuken, yeah, no. I mean, I was cool with having a kicking punching combo with Violent Ken and SNK vs. Capcom Kalos and everything, but making that into the Shinryuken, yeah, no, that doesn't work. But what is also cool is, you know, we got a character that everyone has been asking about since Street Fighter 2, and he is actually playable in the game. We actually got to see Gouken in action. And to me, that was the very best part of Street Fighter 4. Seeing Gouken and how, like, you know, his martial arts style, like, basically would compete against Dio and Ken's. And I was expecting more of a rip-off, like, you know, Goki, where he has the exact same moveset and everything and executed the same way. Oh no, though. With Gouken, you know, you got someone shooting Hadoukens with only one hand. You got Tatsumaki and Bukyakus, but all in the angle. And you didn't even get to do a Shoryuken, which was disappointing for me because, like, that's my favorite move. But Goki did the Shoryuken, however, in its purest form as a super. And, guys, this was a huge callback to the old school Shoryuken from the Street Fighter 2 days, which was one of the most powerful moves and everything. And making this into a super, seeing all that damage it delivered. Oh, yo. So, for me, playing the console only 5 times for Street Fighter 4, I had a lot of fun doing it. While I didn't play it as in depth, it was still fun, and it was not, for me at least, it was not the amazeballs blockbuster that everyone made it out to be. However, it was a great step in the right direction, and it breathed life back into the franchise, something that was missing for 9 years. Agree? Disagree? Drop me a comment below, give me a like, follow me on Facebook at Token Dave, and as well on Twitter at TokenDave80, and subscribe and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by, and I'll catch you guys later.